Up, made coffee, time to analyze the pots.
Moving up and down, side to side like a roller coaster.
Let's go, man. Okay. So I'm probably not even gonna. I'm probably not even going to edit this video. So I'm gonna say all my thoughts. I'm gonna make it as fast as I can. I already gave a really fast look, and let's see. So the first thing that's quite important is that this Alchemist art, right? So Alchemist art, for those who used to play WoW at Wrath of the Lich King and later on, is like the major and the minor glyphs, right? So it's like a really small version of Vag, something unique, something hero specific. Some are really cool, but the downside of that is that you get no stats. You just pay 1400 gold, and then you just, you don't get anything rather than a spell or an upgrade. So in some heroes that's pretty cool, and in other heroes it's not that great. It's a little bit memey. Probably in a serious game you wouldn't like to waste gold early on. It also says that every hero has unique, so we'll actually take every hero to see what's doing. So Abaddon, I'm going to make this video as fast as I can. So Abaddon, he got a lot of buffs, like Aphotic Shield reduce, a little bit more armor, but Abaddon used to be a hero, and it's still a hero that's known for being a 5-man hero or a counter fight. Let's say you get lassoed, you get Finch Grip, you get slowed, Abaddon is there to save you, but what Abaddon lacks is he's not that great in terms of fighting, unless he's core and he's really good in the offlane, but he can't find pickoffs like Mars, like Slark, so that actually makes the hero lack, and I was expecting some changes, right? I think the hero is really good generally. It's as good as it was before, right? That's the main thing. It's as good as it was before, so if the meta changed to a little bit more 5-man, a little bit more siege, Abaddon is perfect, right? We saw a lot of Omnite previous patch. Abaddon is actually great. Aphotic Shield, right? So what this Alchemist shard do to the hero is every time you just cast a spell, there is a 1 out of 4 stacks from his E, from his curse. It's really great, right? But nothing more to say on Abaddon. I really don't want to waste time. I want to waste time though on Alchemist. That guy is probably one of the best supports right now, at least in my opinion. Why? If you were to recall TI5, TI6, we used to see a lot of Alchemist support, right? Maybe TI4, I can't really recall. So what they did to the hero is Unstable Concoction mana is reduced, so that means early on he can use more Unstable Concoction. Unstable Concoction cooldown reduced, that means he's stronger at level 1, and acid trace damage, that's not really something special, and that's a great thing, right, about Alchemist. What they did is they actually they made the hero so that whenever he gives an Alchemist to a hero, the hero, if he has Ags, gets full refund, right? That's actually great. So if you have a pack, Zeus, Storm, or whatever, and you need Ags early on, you will not get punished for getting Ags, right? By punish, I mean, both Alchemist wants to give him Ags, and Stormer just wants to get Ags. So what you do is you get the Ags, and then Alchemist just refunds the full price for you. And the even most important thing is that this Berserk Potion, his Aghanim Shard, what does is it gives attack speed, HP regeneration to a hero. So my idea is that we're going to see a roaming position for Alchemist, where you get Medallion, Boots, Wand, pretty much that's it, and you just rotate. You don't skill the gold thing, you just go for Unstable Concoction, and you go for Acid Spray, you roam around the map, and then you just get Medallion and Berserk Potion, this Aghanim Shard, and you just buff your position 1 or your position 2, like Monkey Kings, PLs, Lunas, Gyros, right? I think Alchemist is gonna be great. AA, nothing to say on AA. Ice Vortex, like Aghanim Shard Ice Vortex, gives a little bit of DPS, reduce attack speed. It's good, but the hero he doesn't really farm that fast, and you want to prioritize other things like Ghost Scepters, like Yules, Glimmer Caves, Force Ups, and so on. Now, Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage, to sum up, I really felt that this hero was strong before, but he's not a good matchup versus the previous meta heroes. He's not that great versus PA. PA literally slaughters him. He really lacked a lot of survivability versus the mainstream position 3 like the Mars and the Slark. What they did is, to sum up, they changed a little bit his numbers, but this Aghanim Scepter is actually really good. What it does is you just throw an illusion with your blink range, and this illusion is uncontrollable and attacks the target for 7 seconds, right? Nothing crazy. It's cute. Casting counter spells also is casted on the illusion. It's something good for late game, but nothing crazy. And Aghanim Shard is whenever you counter spell successfully a spell, you apply an illusion on the target that cast the spell in the first place. Nothing more to say here as well. Because both items, both Aghanim Scepter and Aghanim Shard, are actually for later on. You still want your Battle Fury, Manta Style, and Skadi, or Abyssal. I always prefer Abyssal to Skadi. And then these are more like fun heroes. Now, drink coffee and we continue. Arc Warden, a hero that's really high skill. They changed a little bit his number as well. I think they nerfed his middle game present. Because if you were to see, he got nerfed a little bit. If you see the numbers here, the most important thing is that they changed the Ags, right? So what they did is, whenever you successfully, you have a Spark Wraith successfully landed on a hero, a second Spark Wraith is actually landed and start charging, right? So this is good with some kind of combination with Chrono, where you have 2 illusions, you use Spark Wraiths on both illusions, and then so in total you have 4 Spark Wraiths inside the Chrono. But it's a little bit memey. You still want your Boots of Travel, Midas. I think it's a little bit late game. Also, the most important thing about the hero is level 25 plus 12 seconds Tempest Tumble duration. So the hard thing about Arc Warden is that in the late game, if you have something like a Spell Prism, Octarine, and you get like this talent, which also got reduced, you have pretty much full duration. The full duration of your illusion is pretty much as much as the cooldown of the spell itself. So pretty much it did the same thing here. So I think late game Arc Warden is still a thing. Maybe it's a little bit stronger ultra late game when he's level 25, but usually you want by level 20, level 22 the game to be over or to be really farmed. Also, if you were to see here, Aghanim Shard ability, this magnetic field actually knocks people behind. That's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Cute hero. A lot of cast range, that's good, right? Level 2, it's better than the previous level 4. And the most important thing is that Berserker's Call now applies Battle Hunger to affected units. So what means you blink all and everyone gets Battle Hunger. Also, Battle Hunger reduces enemy armor by 7, and grants you 7 per affected target. So that means later on, when you blink all, you literally get zero damage. Like before, you were like losing a little bit of damage. Now you're literally immortal in terms of physical damage, and everyone around you actually gets -7 armor plus Battle Hunger, right? For me, that's 10 out of 10. That's broken. There's no way we're gonna see blink, maybe Blade Mail, and then Axe 100%. Heroes like Slardar and Mars were really good with the previous patch. With the Sven, the minus armor, the physical damage. Axe is going probably, in my opinion, to be the next offlaner due to this Axe. Because even if you have like 10k net worth, you can always blink, call, Blade Mail, and it's not just that, everyone gets -7 armor. It's insane. It's literally insane. It's insane. Also, like the rest of the changes just doesn't matter. Axe by itself makes the hero viable, right? And by default, this hero can already flash farm. Counter Helix. It's a good spell to farm. You can go jungle if you have a really bad lane. Axe really solid. So also Aghanim Shard, what they did is they removed the counter Helix attack, procs on attack, and they just gave it them Shard. I don't think we're gonna see a lot of that. So Bain. Wow, that's a lot of changes, but I'm gonna say the most important thing. What they did is they changed back from magic damage to pure damage, both his brain sap and his ultimate, right? The second thing is that they rework Enfeeble. It's really good now because it reduces all attack damage, regeneration, cast speed, and most importantly, it has a really good cast range. And also, the most important thing is this Finch Grip upgrade. So, Finch Grip upgrade from Aghanim Shard means that whenever you enfeeble, you have an extra illusion to actually also cast Finch Grip on the target. So, your main hero can move and do whatever he wants, maybe sleep and so on. And most importantly for me, like sometimes when we get Finch Grip, we were going to interrupt the Bain, but right now we have to interrupt both of the heroes, if I understand the spell correctly. We have to interrupt both the hero and the illusion. So, Batrider. Okay, Batrider, for me, I'm not gonna read all of this, got nerfed a lot. They nerfed the Sticky Napalm level 1. So the problem with Batrider is that by default, he's a lane dominator. He wins all the matchups most likely. And level 3, he just runs you down. But with Sticky Napalm getting nerfed the first few levels, we are going to see less Batriders. Maybe we make the hero work out later on, but we're not for now. And secondly, that literally destroyed the hero. Flaming Lasso, 2-minute cooldown. Shit, that's actually bad. 2-minute cooldown is a lot. It's actually the difference between making a hero viable and being the underdog of all the heroes, right? I think we're gonna see the hero later on though. Not now, maybe in a month, maybe in a couple of months. Because Batrider is literally the only hero that is always going to be viable by default because Lasso is just such a good spell, right? So the rest of the changes are just not important, you know. Sticky Napalm got pretty much nerfed. Level 1, level 2. Later in the game, it's as good as it used to be, but right now, it's just not, right? And Aghanim Shard, Flaming Lasso, you just lasso one of your allies and he just has damage reduction, but that's not really good because you still have to buy this item. It doesn't give you stats, it has a cooldown, and even if you have enough money to buy that, the range on Lasso is just too small. It's like Earth Spirit with Axe, you just stone people and you just try to throw them away, but sometimes it just doesn't work because the cast range on the stone is just too small. So Beastmaster. Nothing to say here, as good as it was or as bad as it was. There's nothing to say here. Call of the Wild hack, so what does is this Aghanim Shard just makes the bird movable, so you can control it, and it's like a suicide bomb if you want to deal some damage for 1 second. That can be good to cancel TPs if you want so, but just the fact that it gives you vision and it's clickable, you know, you can just move it around the map, it's worth the money. The bomb is like a little bit mean. So Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker was a hero that we saw a lot from Zai, from Team Secret, but right now it kind of fell off a little bit, but everybody was agreeing on the same thing, right? Bloodseeker was really strong in the laning stage. Bloodrite was really strong. So I'm not going to read all of this, but what does is they nerfed his spell type, the spell side of the hero, right? With the Bloodrite, mana cost increased, the cooldown increased, the damage reduced overall, and what they did is they actually made him a little bit more right click. So all of these are, most of them, a little bit nerfs and minor buffs to the right click and to the rapture, but what we need to learn about the hero is that this Aghanim Shard, you just hit with pure damage from target's max health. That's like really good. If you were to buff anyone else with that, that would be great. Unfortunately, this can only be casted on this only affects Bloodseeker. So maybe we see later on, if you're really ahead with Face Boots, Blade Mail, and Drums by 30-40 minutes in, and you have like a great mid lane, for example, and then you just buy this item because you play versus Timbershaw or Tidehunter or Lifestealer, then that would be great. That it's definitely buyable if only you snowball, right? So Bounty Hunter. The hero, the roamer, I just love, one of my most played heroes. I was expecting a little bit more. They didn't really give him anything, right? So base, yeah, movement should increase, yeah, until more slow. Nothing crazy, nothing that is going to make the hero viable according to the previous patch. Maybe right now things change, but what actually is great is Aghanim Shard. gives track speed boost to allies 50% and provides 800 vision. That's great. 800 vision is definitely worth the amount of gold Aghanim Shard is worth, right? So that's good. Bounty Hunter we're gonna see, but the hero that's actually top tier right now is Brewmaster. All you Brew players, you got what you want. And why Brewmaster was so bad, he was a good laner in the offlane, but you had only one way to play the hero, that would be right click, right? So what they did is they changed Dragon Brawler to being both passive and being both clickable like it used to be. But the most important thing is Aghanim Scepter rework, right? So you have 2 charges right now and you can cancel them anytime. So if you're dying in one of your ultimate, right, you can just cancel it and then split again, right? And you can also disappear or reappear actually on the brew that you want. So it doesn't go like earth, storm, and fire, if I recall correctly. You can just appear whenever you want, right? The second thing is all your spirits are pretty much tankier. So previous patch, Sven would just, boom, 2-hit all your Brewlings. Right now, that's not the case. A little bit tankier, right? A little bit. That was a problem with Brewmaster. Middle game and late game, he was just underperforming comparing to other offlaners, right? And also really cool, Primal split one more with Aghanim Shard, one more void. So you have 4 voids with Astral Pulse ability, like Void Spirit, where he just slows everyone and disarms. For me, if you were to buy, it's like no brain. If you're good with micro and you're good with mechanics to snowball a little bit, you just buy Axe, you just buy Aghanim Shard, and by default, that's all you need. Dagger, maybe BKB, Aghanim Shard, Aghanims, and you don't care about the late game. Late game, you're a boss with just 12k net worth. That's all you need to do, right? Top tier Brewmaster players, here you go, enjoy, right? Bristleback, nothing to say here. He got a little bit of Aghanim fix, but even the hairball, the Aghanim Shards, like nothing. You just throw a ball that slows everyone. Broodmother, nothing to say here. The love of Smurfs boosters. The ultimate cancer of the pubs, everybody's been there. Nothing to say here. Center, right? Center. They didn't really change anything to Center, right? What they did though is they just gave him an Aghanim Shard that's a little bit cool. So double edge increase your strength per hero hit for 12 seconds, so you get a little bit tankier, you gain more strength. So just because you have more strength, double edge deals more damage and you also return more damage, right? So really cool. Maybe as a third item that's cool. I'm not really sure, it's a little bit memey. Maybe if you're a mid-center, just want like a 5th item, you can just invest the amount of gold. Chaos Knight, got nothing. You just Chaos Bolt someone, get an illusion. 10, the hero I was expecting to be more viable in pubs. It's one of my most played heroes. Unfortunately, they didn't really do anything to the hero. They just changed a little bit, like Divine Favor has no active component, and now Holy Persuasion can teleport back, and they just actually did the Aghanim Shard, so Divine Favor can TP your hero back, like the glory days of Navi's back TA3, but in 6 seconds, and it's like purgeable. Cast range is 500, cannot cast on spell immune allies. I know, this hero, it's still for me not playable, and I think for many people, but again, for the pros, for the top tier, it's good. So Clinks, a hero that many players complain, he has a really solid laning stage. They didn't really change anything. A little bit the talents, and now instead of level 10 talent, the Aghanim Shard give you double skeletons when you exit out of army. So Clockwork, my also beloved Clockwork, really good talent change. Spell immune while inside cogs on level 25 instead of stupid magic resistance. What does this mean is that you use hookshot, you cog, you have a ghost scepter, and nobody can touch you, right? And combine that with +2 attacks on cogs to get destroyed, you're literally trapped. You just trap one of the Corsair and he's literally fucked. He can't even kill you, right? So Troll, Draw Ranger, they can't really do anything. They have to force them out, and they can't really punish you, right? It's really good for me. It's really smart idea. And this jetpack is like, if you were to see the picture, it's a little bit mini, right? You just fly things like Night Charger for 6 seconds. Like, Crystal Maiden, I was expecting a little bit more buff to the hero. Hopefully, Ice Rogue did a nerf -5 the movement speed of the hero. What they did is minor changes, you know, the way the Frostbite applies damage. This is a little bit cool. The Aghanim Shard Frostbite now can be cast on yourself. And it just reduces the incoming damage. The downside of that, it's still you're a Crystal Maiden. You'll never be able to have that much farm, and you still want the Force and the Glimmer Cape. So maybe later on that's a good, but still 1400 gold. Now Darkseer. Nothing really changed here. The cool thing is that Aghanim gives you 2 Ion Cell charges and gives you like better duration and more health. So like they changed some talents and they gave it all to Ags. The second thing is Aghanim Sword. It's you just punch people, right? If you were to see, and you create an illusion. It's cool. Like it's really cool. It's actually buyable as long as you have your Graves and your Pipe and maybe even your Ags, right? It's still buyable. It's only 1400 gold, and Darkseer can actually buy. So Dark Willow. Willow is a type of hero that many people actually pick, right? Many people actually pick Willow, but what it lacks is it's not that great. He doesn't have enough armor. His attack range is not that great. So Dark Willow doesn't really have good laning stage, right? So what they did is they nerfed his middle game. You know, base intel is good for the lane, but the cast range increased. That's good. The terrorize was a little bit nerfed, but that's fine. I think literally Dark Willow is as good as it was, right? Or as mediocre as it was. They didn't really change anything, right? I think this hero needs a little bit more than that to make him top tier, right? Also, this Aghanim Shard is good. If you were to see, whenever a hero is successfully stunned by your cursed Crone, you have 4 mages, so she's pretty much trapped there, right? So that's really good. That's really smart. Is it buyable? It can be buyable as long as you buy a Dagger or a Yules, probably a Yules. Yules and then Aghanim Shard is actually buyable. Aghanims. Dazzle, right? So Dazzle got a lot of buffs in my opinion. Shallow Grave, cast range level 1 increased, thank God. If you're playing Dazzle level 1, and you just couldn't grave people with a level 1, and everybody was, you know, just pinking you, you know, Shallow Grave, ready, and you're like, dude, it's like level 1, I can't do anything. That's good. The second thing is Shadow Wave Dispel, so your heal dispels. I'm not really sure if it's a hard dispel or a basic dispel. I'm not really sure about that. Increases heal and increase damage by 80. I'm not really sure this increases damage, so it doesn't increases to all the allies. So if I just heal someone, do I give him plus 80 damage? I'm not really sure about that. Probably not. So we might even see if that's as good as I understand, because I think Dispel is really important nowadays. We're going to see a lot of Dazzle, maybe core Dazzle, and the Aghanim Shard is like the old Aghanim Scepter, where every time you just cast a spell, you just throw a hit away. You just hit your nearby target. So Death Prophet. Death Prophet it was good hero. Now it's even better, right? So base movement speed increased by 25. This is like the fastest hero in the game. The fastest hero. I don't get why, right? I really don't get why. I'm gonna have a Crystal Maiden with boots, and I'm not gonna be as fast as this guy. I literally don't get it, right? Of course, the second one is that Spirit Siphon no longer drains movement speed. But I don't care, because this hero was a fine offlaner. Now it's fucking broken offlaner. I just can't chase him, you know? He can just bully me as fuck with all this movement speed. Name one support that he can literally chase. He can just literally chase, run around, and just getting XP, and I cannot really stop him. So also, Spirit Siphon charge replenishment time early on reduced. That means more fucking offlane boost. Exorcism speed increased, turn rate improved, and Siphon Spirit replenishment time, that's doesn't matter. Like both level 25 are good for Death Prophet, but this movement speed, it doesn't matter that Spirit Siphon got nerfed in terms of movement speed. It's like, dude, 335, that's insane. And Spirit Siphon now drains armor and gives it to you. So Spirit Siphon from Aghanim Shard drains armor and gives back to you. That's really strong. That's really strong. It's actually for me top tier right now, because you can still get Yules, Face Boots, Wand, and then just get this Shard, right? Or like a Plate Mail, then get the Shard and then the Sivas or the Lodsworth. That's really good. Top tier Death Prophet, guys. Congratulations. Disruptor, nothing to say here. Aghanim Shard, really good. What they did is you can just Thunder Strike your own allies and give them buffs like movement speed, attack speed for the duration. The downside is it's still a lot of gold. You still need the 4 stuff. You need still the Glimmer Cake, maybe the other ones, the Ghost Scepter. And it's a little bit luxury as an item, unless you just rush it and you just boost the PA and just start slaughter people. Doom. Nothing to say here. Aghanim rework. Instead of what's called the Infernal Blade, Doom now applies Break. And Infernal Blade is like deals more damage, stuns more, and it reminds you a little bit the level death. It used to be like years ago instead of the Infernal Blade level death. Nothing crazy to say here. Dragonite, an average hero with average stats. Nothing to say as well. The only thing that they gave him is this Fireball. It seems cool, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be actually, it's Mimi, it sounds good, but all he does is like area of effect for 10 seconds, AoE damage. No, it's like not gonna buy, right? Maybe for Flash Farm, I'm not really sure. Maybe actually you just throw that. The cooldown is only 20 seconds. So maybe this is actually the way for DK to start farming. But I don't know, you can always use your Dragon Farm level 2. So Draw Ranger got a little bit nerfed, and even this, I won't even talk about. Like, if you were to see, Draw Ranger doesn't really have that. I felt she was a little bit weak, maybe because Sven and PA and Spec, all the meta heroes, were about to jump him, and this Frost Arrows Hypothermia, where she explodes a target and it's just AoE, is just not worth the gold, right? Earth Spirit, again, got a really cool Aghanim Shard, so the Earth Remnants, the stones give vision, but you always want a stone to fight, so maybe you just use a couple of stone for the Roshan or a fight. It's definitely viable, but we're gonna see a lot of this in the pro teams rather than in the average pub. Earthshaker, so you just fissure, and every time you just your aftershock is being procced, the whole line in the fissure is actually use the aftershock. It's a little bit, it seems cool, but not playable. You still need the dagger. Elder Titan Aghanim Shard, you pretty much you can just teleport on the spirit, right? That's all. You can just teleport the spirit like the Templar Assassin Aghanims. Really cool. The hero that's actually good, and I think is gonna be awesome, it's Fire Remnant. Fire Remnant. That means the Aghanim Shard, Fire Remnant, now deals 45 damage per second. 45 damage per second in AoE. So you just throw Remnant, and you also have the Shield on you, so it's a lot of extra damage. And if you kill an enemy, you just leave a Fire Remnant behind. So that it means you might literally commit all your Fire Remnants to kill a guy. Usually that happens to the mid lane early on, and you can just TP back instantly and reappear to your Remnant. So for 1400 gold, I think we might see a magical damage Ember Spirit with Vessel's Veil and Aghanim Shard. I like it a lot. We actually needed that shift on Ember Spirit to be convinced that it's going for magical damage. And Enchantress, no, nothing here. They try to make this Axe work, it just doesn't. Nature's Attendant, adds 3 permanent Nature's Attendants with the Aghanim Shard. Yeah, maybe that's a thing with Holy Locket, and I just don't see it. Enigma, actually, I think he got a little bit of buff. They tried to make the Malif stun better than it used to be, but I think it's as good as it was, because your advantage as a hero is to actually to deny as much as you can. The carry as a position 4, 5, or 3 doesn't matter, and then you just go to the jungle, get Blink BKB, and pretty much that's what you want. Again, in short, if you were to see, you make a bigger AoE black hole, but you just don't pull them inside. You have this pseudo non-interactive pull towards you. I don't think it's just like anything. Void. They didn't really change anything. Some minor nerfs, but again, it's really good. So you can time walk to one place, and if you regret it, you can just time walk back. So definitely viable. We will actually see more than that, right? We will actually see. So Grimstroke. Holy crap, that's a lot of changes. I'm really not gonna, get into details for all that, but I'm gonna explain why Grimstroke is not really great support. Doesn't trade that good with most of the supports. He doesn't really right click that great. High cooldown spells. That means compare Grimstroke to Lena, Crystal Maiden, Jakiro, Blitz, Disruptor. All these heroes have low cooldown, and Grimstroke, it says use his Q or uses his E, and he's like, okay, that's it for like 30 seconds, and then he just can't do anything. So I think they try to make the hero work, maybe for a core, maybe as a position 3 we make the hero finally work, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Pros still pick it, but unfortunately it has one of the worst win rates in the game. And this again starts like a little bit memey, right? Converts a target enemy in ink, reducing attack speed, movement speed, and so on. That can be good, right? That can be funny. Gyrocopter, right? Gyrocopter thought it's going to be like before the patch. I thought it was going to be among with Luna, the hero of the patch. What they did is Aghanim insert, Rocket Barrage, now hits an extra target, increase barrage duration by 1 second. 10 out of 10, perfect, Imba, holy crap, that's insane, right? So you just buy that and you just run people down. And 1 second duration is like 30% more damage, but by default, by the time it ends, after you have Aghanim insert, you already have Rocket Barrage again. Perfect. Really solid, mid lane, even support gyro, even core are going to buy that as a third item, like Tretch or Face Boots, drums, wand, and there you go. You buy that and you just run people down. That's insane, right? That's insane. Husker, the love of the Smurfs, the cancer of the pubs, the average booster plays this hero. They just kinda buffed his axe, pretty much what they did. They buffed his axe is really good, but you never want to get axe on the hero, because if you're in a position that you want axe, probably the game is not really going that good, because you are probably losing, right? Husker really wants to end the game 20-25 minutes in. And Inner Fire as Aghanim Shard causes healing regen by 50%, applies the movement slow, that can be good, but you still want your armlet, maybe Satanic. We're gonna see later on if Satanic and the Halberds are actually good item. So Invoker, the love of all the wombo combo hero, right? So I think he got buffed a lot. So Forge Spirit now spawns 2 units when both Quas and Extra. So level 8, Power Spike for Invoker, no more Quas Wax most likely. Exords, like, they just turn to the old Invoker. So you go for 404 and you just cold snap with the Forge Spirits and you attack them and you just, that's all. So Invoker can be good, right? Invoker can be good right now. Aghanim Shard, you just make Ice Wall to be like, you just turn it whenever you want. Wisp, right? Wisp is a hero that, if you like it, it's always gonna be good, right? So they just try to buff the hero or nerf, for example, they try to attack point increase, base damage increase, and then they just nerf other aspects of the hero, and they just bring the boss inside and outside. What they also do is like relocate nerfs, because, and what, like, the cool thing about Wisp is now the overcharge grants spell amplification. So it's really good with Skywrath Mage. It's really as a position 2 Skywrath Mage. With Zeus, maybe with Ember Spirit with the magical build, right? I think Wisp, just like Batrider, is never going out of meta. If you're a Wisp player, this hero is definitely viable, right? So nothing more to say. The important thing about Wisp is that the hero is now also playable with the casters. Leshrac is really good for him, right? And Aghanim Shard, ending tether now stuns enemies. So, like, what they did is bring the old tether back, but you have to pay 1.4k gold for that. Zakiro, nothing more to say here. They just gave him some Liquid Frost. It's like something like a Skadi, but deals a little bit more damage. It's really good, maybe in a core Zakiro. Juggernaut, right? Nothing to say here. Maybe we see, I always thought magic damage Juggernaut is actually good, but maybe with this Aghanim Shard it's actually viable. We're going to see, but they didn't really change anything drastically. My beloved Kotal. Holy crap, that's a lot of changes. I'm gonna sum up. So, what you do is you have a new ability, right, called Solar Bind. So what it does is you just cast it on the enemies, and they have like magic resistance reduced. They are also slowed, but the most important thing is that you have to choose between Illuminate, this new Solar Bind ability, and Chakra Magic. So I'm not really sure how we're gonna scale the hero. Maybe we just get, again, level 1 Illuminate, go for full Chakra, and then just get the Solar Blind. Second thing, you don't have Will-O-Wisp, right? Your ultimate now is the old Keeper of the Light, right? And in order to get Will-O-Wisp, you are going to buy Aghanims, right? Now, your new ultimate is like the old Keeper of the Light spirit form. So what you can do is use your Illuminate without cast point, and you still have Blinding Light, right? But it's inside your ultimate, and Recall. Recall is like the old Recall, right? So pretty much we have the old Keeper of the Light, but in order to get Will-O-Wisp, you are going to have to buy Axe. And the problem is that Kotal didn't really have a good laning stage, so it's still a unique hero, but we're going to see how good this is going to be. I'm a huge Kotal fan. I'm gonna give him like an 8 out of 10. I think it's a really solid hero, right? Talents does not matter. All it matters to see how good is this ability going to be. And Illuminate grants heal during daytime with Aghanim Shard. Kunga, right? I don't even recall all the changes, right? So agility gained, no, not agility, intelligence low. More movement speed with both. Cast range, that's actually good for support, and actually it's actually reasonable with Kunga. And Tidebringer, more damage. Nobody really got this talent. So Tidal Wave, right? So release a wave towards a target direction that deals damage. Enemies along, okay, the wave spawns 600. That can be good, right? So I like that a lot, because among with the Aghanims, this can give you more team fight presence and chaos, and pretty much every Kunga from any position 2 and 3 used to buy Ags, get the 3 bots at the level of 25. So this is something we are going to see 100% the hero, right? Legion Commander still solid. What they did is Aghanim Shard while dueling every 1.5 seconds. An overwhelming odds is actually being casted in the center, right? So that's actually good, right? That's a little bit unique, but you can actually make it after like if they have something like a Lycan or something like a Beastmaster, that's gonna be really good. So Leshrac, I like Leshrac. Leshrac with Wisp is a new meta for me. So what they did is they just changed the Aghanim Scepter, so there's no more Lightning Storm when you have your ultimate. and gives you this ability, this nihilism, if I pronounced correctly, grants you temporary aura, so that causes you and all your nearby allies in an AoE to be ethereal. So you just ethereal everyone around you, and they just can't attack you, and causing them to take more magic damage and to be slowed. And increase your speed rather than reducing it. So I think it's really good, because if you have a BKB and you just ethereal everyone, they're just literally fucked. They can't even fight. They have to have BKB as well. Slark, good hero. I like him a lot. We're going to see a lot of facts, especially versus right clickers like, I don't know, Draw Rangers and PAs and TAs, and we're gonna see a lot of this. And Aghanim Shard, Air Splitter to repeat in the same location 2 additional times. It's good, right? So what it does is back-to-back splitter with a small duration, right? That's what happens. If you were to see the video as well, it's good. So Leech, still solid. Still, I like him. There's nothing crazy. The Aghanim Shard, I'm just a little bit skeptical around all the Aghanim Shard, because you need to have gold to buy that. And maybe, I'm not really sure if this Aghanim Shard or every position 5 Aghanim Shard is as good as a Ghost Scepter. So, grants Ice Spire, creates an Ice Clay at the target spot for 15 seconds, slowing them, and Chain Frost can bounce. So what does, this can be really good, but you still need something like a Ravage, you need a setup, but it's actually really good. I'm gonna say 9 out of 10. The only reason why I don't give 10 is because you still need gold for that, right? So if you're dying to Storm with Orchid, you're not gonna buy that. So Lifestealer here that we actually saw a lot, a counter to PA, because he's naturally good at right click and gets an MKB fast. So the important thing is that, he got some buffs, but replaced open wounds with Ghoul Frenzy. That means passively causes Lifestealer attacks to slow enemy movement speed by this amount. Additionally grants you this attack speed, right? So what this means is, if you were to recall back in 5.84, Lifestealer had Rage as ultimate and 3 passives, and one of the passives was this one, to slow the target, right? This is really good for the laning stage, because we were always in this in-between situation. Do I buy Herb of Venom? Maybe I don't buy Herb of Venom. Now you don't need Herb of Venom. So what you will do is maybe get level 1 Rage, and still you're gonna think about maybe go for 1 to 2, Feast, and then go for Ghoul Frenzy. I like it a lot. Lifestealer solid. Scepter rework, like allows infesting enemies here for 4 seconds, attacking inside them. I don't think enemy heroes gain no bonus from infest, double self regenerate. I don't think that's anything great, but Lifestealer is still great. I think we're gonna see a lot of Lifestealer. And Aghanim Shard, you just get open wounds, right? That's it. Lena. Well, Lena, for example, is one of the heroes that will always be viable. Literally always be viable, always be good, right? So what they did is, I think the hero needed a little bit nerf. What they do is they reduce his laning stage, but they increase the overall later impact in the game, right? If you were to see Light Strike Array reduced early on, Laguna Blade mana cost reduced, and if you were to see the talent as well, they try to make him more viable later in the game, where Lena is actually dying, but try to reduce the early game, the lane stage, where she's actually really strong. And Laguna Blade cast range by 150. Blade can now also be ground targeted, so that means it's an AoE. So that's 10 out of 10. You were naturally getting Ags on Laguna, Ags on Lena. Now you just get Aghanim Shard as well, and you just start. It reminds like a Lion. Like Lion, it's pretty much the same thing if you were to see. So Lion, the hero that everybody complained, the underdog of all support, and like one of the worst win rates, Dog shit, pretty bad. Let's see. Agility gain, that's good. Air Spike cast range increased. Hex unit movement speed reduced. So minor buffs here. Mana drain multi-target now searches for units within plus 300. Okay. Fixed finger of self reducing. Okay. Nothing crazy. I don't think it's good as a position 5, maybe as a position like what we need is a lower cooldown on finger, and you can just reduce the cooldown, right? Reduce the damage, reduce the cooldown. That's what we want, right? And Aghanim Shard, mana drain, grant true vision. That's good, but you'll never pick a hero for that. You'll never pick a hero because you have to buy Aghanim Shard and mana drain. No. Long Druid. That's a good buff. But Long Druid is a unique hero. Savage Roar now empowers allied units. That's good, but again, I'm not a Druid fan. I think the hero is hard, has a really weird middle game. I think that for Bulldogs that's gonna be a great buff, but for the rest, mortals just like us, it's not. Lena and Gyro, the heroes I was expecting to actually be really good. Let's see. Base agility increased. That's good. More attack speed, better animation. Lunar Blazing damage. So what they did is like nerf laning stage, increased late game. Again here, give some more night vision and moonglaves. Nothing crazy. And Losing Beam just stuns more and gives you movement speed. I don't know. Nothing to justify Luna, but if the meta changes and we don't see that much PA, then it's gonna be actually really good. Lycan, okay? Lycan was a hero that in the previous patch, so 2 patches ago, was like the stomp. Every 2k player was actually spamming Lycan, and they were posting on Reddit, hey, I got like 5k MMR in like spamming Lycan, and then Lycan got nerfed, and here we are. So let's see what they did. Whole cooldown reduced. That's good. Better laning stage. Whole mana cost reduced, better laning states. Feral Impulse no longer has a radius, affects your units anywhere. That's good. Talents, plus 75 shift speed. Okay, that's good. So what they try to do is make him a little bit more right-clicker, right? More right-click, I think that's gonna be good. Aghanim Shard cause one of your creep waves to include an uncontrollable wolf. So No, nothing. But I think we might see Lycan as a position 2, like this right-click type of hero. But we're gonna see. Empower hero. The Magnus position 2, 3, 4, 5. We used to see this hero literally everywhere, man, everywhere. So let's see. Empower duration rescale. So it's a flat 40. That's a nerf. The rest like doesn't matter because we usually used to see support Magnus. So let's see the axe. Releases 3 shockwaves going outwards from again. Okay, so what it does is you just throw 3 shockwaves, just like Miranda at level 25 with 3 arrows, and then they just turn back, deals damage again a little bit less. I think it's not that great. It's not that great. And Aghanim Shard is like grants horn toss, and they just toss enemies back. It's a little bit meme. Because, okay, what it does is, if you have this spell, you just toss them back and you can just cure them whenever you want, but you can already do that with Shockwave. So, Mars is solid. Mars is always solid, but let's see, because I think this is one of the most played offlaners. So, mana cost increased. That's really bad. Mars has actually some pretty mana issues early on. Arena Blood, mana cost reduced, that's good, and damage rescaled. Let's see this Agonist. Creates invulnerable soldiers in front of you while Bulgar is toggled on. Soldiers move alongside with your hero, deal your full damage within a bonus 55. That reminds me of not Gyrocopter, the game before. It was like one of the options you could just pick. Enemies can only be attacked by 1 soldier at a time. It's good. It seems like it's like unique. It seems fun, but we have to see. the rest of the things like doesn't matter. Like if Mars has mana and he doesn't get screwed but by this, then it's still viable. Aghanim Shard, Spear of Mars impales up to 2 units and leaves a fire trail behind, which lasts 10 seconds, right? Okay. I don't think it's like that great. Maybe if it was pure damage, that would be pretty good. But for magical damage, I'm not really sure, right? Medusa, nothing to say here, still fine. You know, whenever you're targeted with a single spell, you just throw a Mystic Snake. That can be good if you have Aghanims, right? I think it's actually really good. But for later on, like you still need your Manta, Butterfly, Scad, Satanic, right? Something like that, and then you can just buy that unless they have Zeus and PAs, something with a lot of single targets. So Meepo, a dead hero reborn. Like they didn't really change anything. They just gave him an axe. That you have a new skill called Dig. You just go inside, you dig, and you just dispel everything. You go invulnerable and untargetable, and you just restore health. Like so, you just dig inside like Nyx Assassin, and nobody can attack you, and you just go up. And now Aghanim Shard, Ransack has a 30% chance to hit to apply Geostrike debuff. Like this reminds me the old Meepo. Nothing crazy. Miranda still solid. Aghanim Scepter, you just release a Starfall whenever you just throw an arrow. No, still fine. Nothing great. And Aghanim Shard 1 extra leap. Nothing crazy. Monkey King, I think it's a good hero. Not that it changed anything, but the items that we'll discuss later on, they're actually really good for MK right now. Morphling, the love of the booster and Smurfs, no. Naga allows ensnare to target spell immune or sleeping units. That's good, but still not viable because you still, maybe later on, late game, but you still have your Manta, Diffusal, Scad, and so on. Like Riptide upgrade, still later on you are just good to go. You can just buy both Axe and Aghanim Shard. But Naga is as good as it was. If Naga, you need to be good to play Naga, and you need to actually have a solid laning stage, or just like Terrorblade. Move on. Nature's Prophet. Probably the hero with the worst win rate. Everybody complained about this hero, even though it felt solid. So he got a lot of buff. Trend movement speed increased, right? Later on. Trend-based damage reduced, but the attack time improved, right? So they just hit faster. Now, the Aghanims is actually a little bit important. Lowers cooldown from 85 to 60 and entangles all enemies it hits. And that's good, man. It literally entangles everything that it hits. Right? That's I will assume it's not root. So does it cancel TP or channeling spell? Because if it does, you can just globally cancel anything like Finch Grip, Black Hole, and so on. That's actually insane. I'm not really sure about that. And Sprout goes the first 2 trees, so you just sprout someone and you just make 2 great trained trees. That's actually really good, right? Also, it's really important because I'm thinking right now, does the Aghanim Shard, if you were just casting Sprout, can you just sit with that? Because the trees that you spawn are greater trained, right? So if this is really good, maybe this Aghanim Shard is really good. We're gonna have to find out. So Necrophos still solid. Aghanim Shard grants Death Seeker, spawns a fast-moving large death pulse, dealing 50% more damage and causing the spread. Okay, so it's a bouncing death pulse, right? I like that a lot. Night Stalker, pretty much I tried to make him viable in the daytime, right? Because you can just cast 100 in the night. Consumes a laser creature, instantly killing and restoring 25% of your maximum HP and mana. That's really good. I like it a lot. Nyx. If we see more Snapfires again, Nyx is good. But the problem with Nyx is he's weak. He's a lot of Vendetta dependent, right? So unless you have someone to... Because as a position 3, you need someone to give you more damage. So Nyx is good with Willow. Nyx is good with Scarlet Mage, but he's not good individual. And as a position 4, you need like someone to babysit, like a range, like Necrophos, Pagma, and so on. I think Nyx is always solid, but it always depends on the meta. The only reason why Nyx is always going to be solid is Carapace. Really strong, right? Ogre Magi, strong laner. What I want to see is the Aghanim Shard, Grant Fire Shield. Oh man, what do you talk? My voice just hurt, you know. Let's drink some water. Create a shield around the target ally or building absorbing. So create a shield around the target ally or building, and it absorbs the damage from 3 next attacks. So it's like the old Trent Living Armor. Lance Fireball at the attacker. Okay, I like that a lot. Can be multi-cast. I like it a lot. Top tier. That's good. That's good. Because Ogre, what are you gonna build anyways? Like Etherlands, that's all. You're already in the middle of the fight. So definitely viable. Definitely viable. Omni Knight. Grants Hammer of Purity, auto attacks ability. Causes your next attack to deal pure damage equal to 25. You're killed for the amount. That's good. Maybe if we see right click Omni, that's gonna be good. Oracle, I would like to see some buffs, but let's see. Causes Fate's attack to no longer disarm allies or make enemies magic damage or immune. Okay. Not worth it. Not worth it. False Promise causes False Promise to have 0.3-second fade delay invisibility. Okay, that's good. That's good. But so that's minus 50% pure Fang Flames and allied damage. That's good. That's good, but you still need gold for all these items. So OD, holy crap. That's a lot of things. They actually buffed this hero a lot because he wasn't really played that much. I'm not really gonna go into the details, but what they did is they tried to make the Astral Imprisonment a lot of, like, the cast range 650. So OD is again a lane dominator. That's the most important thing. I'm not gonna go into details. You can just pick OD right now, and you can just steal Astral, because if you were to see, Astral Imprisonment cast range is actually 650, so you can just out deny every single mid laner. OD for me is like 3 MMR right now. It's a good hero. The rest of them also are good changes. He scales better to the late game, but the most important thing is that he's actually good in the laning right now. So Pango, looky, here you are. You got some of the buffs, but you also have some cool things coming up, like roll up. Roll up is like grant to, like, if you were to see, it just makes you a ball, like a really small ultimate. And what else has, I forgot it. If enemies attack you during roll up, you will roll away from the attacker, right? So it's like really cool once you have your core items, right? It's like a really small ultimate. It doesn't really deal damage. It's kind of for a stun, right? PA. So let's see what happened to PA. Blare Fade Time, that's good. Blare Evasion, they just nerfed. It's like doesn't matter. And yeah, that 25,000 was broken. So instead of creating for X5, now it has more chance of critical. Fan of Knives from Aghanim Shard. This, for those who doesn't play World of Warcraft, is like Fan of Knives from the Rogues, and releases Sharp Blades around you in an AoE and just deals enemies max health. That's good. Applies break. That's really good, because what they try to do is you can actually get the Desolator. This hero is still viable. They did not nerf it. This is still viable. Sorry guys, PA is good, right? So, Phantom Lancer, man. And Forgotten Hero. So he got some buffs. The most important thing that I want to say is the Axe rework. Juxtapose can now be cast, destroying your other Juxtapose illusion and quickly creating the max illusion. It allows 6, 8, and 10 with a bonus 10 seconds duration, right? So it's like a huge Manta style, right? If you're like getting focused, you're just like a huge Manta style. I think it's good. It's not good, rather than it's annoying, right? Also, Spirit Lance. It's like Spirit Lance, like the old Axe. It's not great. It's still fine. It doesn't really say how many targets it has, right? Does it bounce in infinite? Maybe it does, but it's good because I like it a lot because you can just flash farm with that. It's definitely viable, and we're going to see that. So, Phoenix, top tier hero. Let's see what they did. Supernova cooldown increased. Okay. Supernova mana cost rescaled. Okay. Nothing crazy. And Aghanim Shard causes Fire Spirit to become passive ability. Every 7 seconds, a Fire Spirit response. Why is this good? Because it's the same thing as freaking Wisp with 2019 Nana. We're gonna see core Phoenix just with that. We're gonna see that, and we're gonna see a lot of magical. That's good, man. If you're good with Phoenix actually ridiculous. So Pack. I was expecting to see more. Unfortunately, didn't get the buffs I wanted to see. So a little bit of illusory. Okay. Orb damage increased. A little bit more Drinkle, Scepter, Link Breaks, Duration Rescale. Like nothing crazy, and even the Aghanim Shard, what does is it just knocks people back. Like meh. Unfortunately, I love Pack. Was good previous meta because it got countered. It countered the Sven and the PAs, but so pods, more base damage, more armor, more flesh heap, right? But unfortunately, they didn't give him anything to justify the hero to be picked. His laning stage is still weak, except Axe. Axe has actually rot radius. It's really good, but how are you gonna get Axe if you have bad laning states and your hero doesn't really flash farm? And Dismember can now swallow the enemies. Pagna with the Aghanim Shard, 10 out of 10. You every 2 seconds pretty much that you just suck people, you just suck another hero. 10 out of 10. Queen of Pain, blink. Pretty much what you do is whenever you blink in the starting and the ending position, you just throw a small Scream of Pain, right? That deals AoE. It's really good because it's an extra nuke because it can hit both in the beginning and the end. So you just blink, dagger, Scream of Pain, ulti, and then just blink on top of him and just deals double the damage. Razor, I've forgotten hero as well. I think this hero is gonna get picked a lot. Aghanim Shard causes Storm Rage to have an 80%. Pretty much what does, it has a chance to like AoE when he gets attacked, right? It has 18% chance to release a Fork Lightning when attacked or always when targeted with a spell. So it's good, it reminds of the old days with the AoE. Definitely viable for Razor. Ricky, Smoke Screen can be cast during Trick of Trades. Great buff. Smoke Screen radius increased, good. That's good, but the problem with Ricky is always it's a little bit what's called hero specific. Grant Slipping Dart. What's that? I can't recall. Fires a dart at the target enemy, putting them to sleep. So it's like, okay, pretty much you just slip someone, you just focus the other. Not viable. You still need more important things right now. Let's see Rubik. I don't recall what I've read about Rubik. Arcane Supremacy no longer provides the buff amplification. That's nerf. But it provides cast range. That's a buff for me. That's a buff. Spellseal now provides bonus Wow. Spell still not provides bonus debuff amplification. That's okay. That means telekinesis that is not a stolen spell though. Spell still cooldown rescaled. Okay. Spell still set their cooldown. Okay. Nothing crazy, but I think Rubik is better than before. Allies, telekinesis allows you to use telekinesis on yourself on an ally. Throw range is 6% less and cooldown is increased. So you can just throw yourself someone. Maybe that's good for allies. That's good for allies, man. With the cast range, you can save anyone out of a hard situation. That's good. I like it. So Epicenter now uses cast time instead of channel time. So that means it can. That's a great buff. It cannot get cancelled, right? That's actually like crazy, man. And I can insert every 700 units cause an Epicenter pulse around you. That's great. That's great, man. Because this is what something didn't have. He didn't have damage. He didn't have fucking damage. That's good. Now Shadow Poison no longer dispellable in Shadow Demon. Okay, and Demonic Purge Scepter upgrade debuffs now ends. Nobody like Axe on Shadow Demon. It was like a luxury. Demonic Purge. To be cast on allies, continues dispelling them. Okay. So you can cast ultimate on your allies to dispel them all the time. That can be good. So let's just Shadow Fiend. Mana cost reduced. So they buff Shadow Fiend. Why? Why would you buff Shadow Fiend? That makes no sense. And Necromaster now provides. Okay, that's good, man. Necromastery now provides 0.5 per soul. That's good, man. That's good. Let's see Shadow. Shadow Fiend, why did you have to buff him? He's already a lane dominator. You just buy 15 mangoes and you're good to go. Shadow Summon. Wards damage increased. This hero needs to get buffed. And the shards just spawn for snakes. No, just buff the fucking hero, you know. Silencer, the same thing. Just balancing glaives of... you have to pay 1.4k gold for that. Scarlet Mage. Ancient Seal debuff. Now, I'm just passing the hero because I just don't like the buffs. These heroes had to get more buffs. We haven't seen them in like months. Ancient Seal debuff now causes other debuffs applied. It's good, but no. I like if I pay 1.5k for that, I'm just gonna pay twice as that. I'm gonna get an Aethos. Doesn't really make sense. Slark also got a little bit of nerfs. Nothing crazy. They just like Mars, they tried to make him have some mana issues. If you were to see, I think it's still a good hero. Corrosive Haste with Aghanim Shard is to be applied 5 seconds to units hit with Slither and Crash. So you just stun them and you just don't waste time, you know, because you were always blink, stun, then use the Corrosive Haste and then just hit. It's really good. Maybe, I'm not really sure if it's worth 1.5k gold. Slark and also that hero, they just tried to give him some buffs. Nothing crazy though, unfortunately. Fistbait, you just can throw it in on enemies to reduce your movement speed and grant you true sight over them. It's just not worth it. Snapfire, a hero that we saw a lot being played in the mid lane in the position 3, 4, 5, and 2. First Night Cooking. So whenever a strength hero is strong, what they do is just they fuck up with their mana. Lil Shredder, mana cost reduced. Gobble Up has a 150 mana cost. So they just try to screw up with the Aghanis. And then Scatter Blast from Aghanim Shard. Units in a point blank will be knocked. Okay, that can be good. That can be good for a support though. This, because as a core you still want to go for the right click, right? So Snapfire is still playable. Let's see Sniper. Strength Gate increased. Nothing crazy. Agility gain reduced. Base agility increased. That's good. Shrapnel charge play enemies time. That's a buff. Concussive Jigger. Okay, what does it do? Grants concussive knocks enemies back. No man, this can be good maybe as a support, you know. This can be good as a support. Maybe sniper support is back. Maybe support, because you can definitely just buy that and then buy the axe, right? Because you have 3 spells pretty much if you have Aghanim Shard. I like it a lot. Spec base damage reduced, dispersion rescaled. Okay, special dark cooldown increased, mana cost increased. Yeah, there's a screw up with the mana, so they screw up with the early game, so it's not as easy for them to go late game. And Shadow Step's Scepter ability also cast dagger on its target. That is good, but it's still luxury. So Dispersion can activate Dispersion to spawn a Haunt Illusion to attack the most recent hero that damaged you in the last 5 seconds. Okay, that's good. So if I have to think all of that, maybe, I'm saying maybe, we are going to see a really early game spec with Aghanim Shard, Drum's Face, but right? We are going to see that. Maybe even Axe and level 25 more illusion damage. That can be a thing. Now, Spirit Breaker. Who plays Spirit Breaker? He got some buffs, but nothing crazy. And Nether Strike, cause Nether Strike to have a cast delay rather than a cast time. Okay. I don't know. Still don't like it. The hero is a little bit unique, you know. Not a fan. Storm Spirit, level 25, to +2 overload bounce, causes you to attack to bounce 2 times. That's good, but it's not as good as Create Remnants with your ultimate, right? And what does Aghanim Shard do? Grants Electric Rev, gives you an ally within. So it just gives overload to your allies. That can be good. I like it a lot, because you have to see how these Aghanim Shards are going to be able to change a hero from core to support. Now, Sven, what they did is pretty much they reduced his ultimate damage, they reduced the scepter bonus range, and in order to get the dispel, you also need to buy this Aghanim Shard. Is it good? Is Sven good? Yes. Yes, he's still good. He's still fucking good. The only downside is that it's going to make the hero a little bit weird. Stormhammer Scepter no longer applies attacks on impact. That means they used to use ulti, Stormhammer, and instant double hit you with this Echo Saber. Now the stun happens and then he has to hit, but it's still definitely playable. Techies, fuck this hero. Literally, got them. Let's just remove this hero. Templar Assassin got some buffs. I think we didn't see enough TA, but I think we are going to. They reduce a little bit the laning stage, like, because Psyblades, Psyblades spill range is like 2x your attack range, so that means maybe you have to max this as well. We're going to see. And Psionic Trap now silences the target. That's good if it was like free, but you still have to pay 1.5k gold. Turblade, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this hero. A lot of Russians, boosters, Murphers pick that. I'm just not a fan. They didn't really change anything. The hero is still fine as long as he has a good laning stage. Tidehunter got some buffs, like a little bit forgotten hero. The important thing is that Aghanim Shard now increases Anchor Smash by 90 and causes it to affect buildings. So instead of buying Meteor Hammer, you can just buy Aghanim Shard and you can just siege. That's actually broken, because you can just get Arcane Boots, Wand, and buy this item with a couple of bracers, and you can just start sieging the shit out of them. The downside of this is that Aghanim Shard, I'm gonna say that again, does not give you any stats. At least Meteor Hammer were to give you some stats. Timbersaw, my beloved Timbersaw, cheese peaks, it's good. So, Whirling Death base damage reduced. Whirling Death range increased, timber chain speed increased early on, that's a good buff. Chakram Scepter slow now attacks in okay. Nothing crazy, still good. Flamethrower, grants flamethrower, release a flame in the direction you're facing. Applies a debuff that deals 75, that's great. Sets up trees on fire. Okay, I like that a lot. Because if you were to pick Timber Mid and you just get this with a wand and arcane boots, you can just snowball. You can just run at them and just start killing people. That's good, man. Scepter on Tinker. Let's see. Upgrade your laser into a shrink ray, causing the half plus 400 ray catcher, and use the enemy model size and currently health values. What? Laser bounces once on the target. That seems good. What? That seems really good, man. Is Tinker good? And Aghanim Shard grants defensive matrix. Targets an allied unit applying a barrier. So you just throw it on you and you're pretty much not dying, right? In case you get caught. And it's like an Aeon disc. The question is, does it get refreshed with the ultimate? That's actually really, really important. If it gets refreshed, that's literally great, man. That's really strong. Tiny, again, nothing crazy. All these heroes are a little bit what's it called? They just change the the numbers a little bit. And they also gave the Tiny his old stun, like when he gets attacked by melee. Trend Protector, overgrowth around your wraps targets again. So if you are someone to TP, or not only TP, channeling spells like Bain, Crystal Maiden, and so on. And they also gave him his old attack route from the Invis. Troll Warlord, nothing to say here. They just causes range at access to dispel enemies and melee access to dispel yourself. That's really good, but still an axe. Maybe it's good if you have a hero to boost you because you still need some early items to attack. Husker, nothing. Underlord, Dark Rift cannot be cast on allied heroes. Reduce cast delay by 1 second. It's nothing. Undying got nerfed a little bit, really strong in the early on, like in the laning stage, he's really strong. Ursa also got a little bit of buffs because we didn't see enough Ursa. The important thing that Furious Vibes, if you have Aghanim Shard, you make yourself enraged, but you need like 6 stacks on the hero, so it's like more than Abaddon, more than Monkey King, so I'm not really sure. And now Vents. Holy fuck, Vents. Yes, finally, the underdog, an average hero, finally got buffed. Magic Missile, cast range increased. Projectile increased. Scepter, you just die and you can just cast spells. Core Vent is literally back, right? Nether Swap, cooldown reduce, but you only have 1 charge. But most importantly, look at the range. 800. Now it's good, man. It's finally level 1 swap is not bad. It's good, right? Venomancer, nothing to say. Viper, poison attack, lowers armor, nothing to say. Visage, I'm not even gonna go. Not many people play Visage. But if you are a Visage player, you're gonna just like the new axe. You just boost you and your familiars, and you have some kind of flying form. It's good. If you're a Visage player, you're gonna love that. Void Spirit, a minor nerf, still playable. This simulate Aghanim Shard. It seems cool, but I think it's good. You know, Warlock, this can be good. Aghanim Shard ability. It's really good because Warlock was actually, a walking NPC. At least if you can just rush Aghanim Shard, because what else are you gonna buy, right? You can just buff allies and enemies. Weaver got buffed. If you were to see this Aghanim Shard, he just like bouncing this Gemini attack. Wind Ranger, Global Power Shot, a little bit unique. Can be good. It's like an AA ulti, pretty much. What they did, they make the Power Shot AA ulti. Wyvern, also cool. This these agonims are also really good. Whenever someone gets out of your heal, there is a Winter Splinter Blast goes out. Witch Doctor, always a meme hero. Nothing to say. Wraith King now. Wraith King is good, man. Reworked Mortal Strike. It's now a passive cooldown with critical strike ability. Right? The Scepter Agony now buffs Wraith King units with 75 attack speed. So that means you can siege. You can just rush axe with the Desolator and the Arnite and just start sieging things, right? And last thing, Zeus. Always Zeus is gonna get his mana cost on his ultimate. It's still not enough. Another nerf here was really good. You see more nerfs, and this cooldown reduction was really good with with an impulse. So they just changed to Thunder Guts Wrath damage. Zeus still playable as long as you solve these mana issues, right? And Static Field just throws, like, just jumps, right? It's good. It's a little bit memey, but it's good. So items. Okay, my voice is actually heard, and so I'm gonna go really fast with that. I'm gonna go due to the most important things, right? So the most important thing here is Orb of Corrosion. So Orb of Venom, Blightstone, the combination. I had a few videos in my channel that say about that. The most buyable item ever. Slark is gonna buy that. Mind Taking is gonna buy that. Roamer are gonna buy that. Everybody's going to buy this item. Everybody. It's going to be nerfed soon, so buy this item now. Also, this item, Maelstrom, I'm not even sure how it's pronounced, Gleipnir. Maelstrom, Rod of Aethos. And you just have, and as an active, to sum up, you just throw, like, in an air of effect, a net, and you just releasing a lightning. I know, it's like crazy, man. It's like really good, right? The question is, who buys Maelstrom and Rod of Aethos? If there is this item, you're gonna buy that. Helm of Dominator 2, nobody cares. It's good, maybe for Beastmaster, maybe for Lycan, but it's still 600 gold race, maybe a Lycan. If you're a Lycan, rush it, and I'm not really sure, because you can convert Ancient, but I'm not really sure about that. There are a lot of new stuff here, and the good thing, I'm not gonna go into details. What I'm gonna say is there's a lot of buffs for spellcasters, a lot of Lesracs, a lot of Storms, a lot of Queen of Pains. We're gonna see a lot of this. That's the most important. Like, if you were to see, there are a lot of things, a lot of daggers, a lot of mystic stuff, a lot of magic amplification, movement speed, all of these things that spellcaster actually and support actually just wanted. So all of these items are for spellcasters. What's the most important out of that is that okay, holy lord, I'm just laughing. Satanic Sands, Heaven's Halberd, they all got buffed and nerfed at the same time. So Satanic no longer gives stats resistance. Huge nerf, and mass needed. And also upgrades from stats resistant items do not stack. Finally, we just needed that. The rest of them, that just doesn't matter. It's minor nerfs, minor buffs, and like last but not least, where is it? Like my favorite item, the neutral items. These were items were really good. They got nerfed out, but we have a lot of these items. Spell amplification. This is really good. This is really good. For example, Ember Spirit with a shield. Darkseer with a shield. It's like so good. But some items just got out. I'm not gonna go into details. Last but not least, I wanna go here and mention this Hoodwink. I'm not really sure. I played a game with him. He seems really strong. I'm not gonna explain him right now. Maybe in another video. But please take a look. Play Turbo. Play him in demo. It's really good as a hero. That's my analysis. To sum up, I think the most literally good hero right now is Alchemist. Alchemist really strong. We're gonna see a lot of Alchemist. Death Prophet and Axe is actually really good. Go play, maybe abuse to gain MMR, and tell me your thoughts right down below. I know that I passed some things really fast, but my freaking voice is actually hurting. I'm talking for over an hour. Go check it, and hopefully right down below, I'm gonna also post on Reddit right down below what you think. GG, Raza, I'm gonna see you on the next video.